and gentlemen, it's 5 o'clock and we'll open up this public hearing to discuss a golf cart ordinance in the city of Benton. We're going to give everybody 3 minutes. Anybody that wants to speak pro or con, you're welcome to speak and we'll time you at 3 minutes. So um, I will read a letter from a gentleman that sent something in and he wasn't able to be here. So I'm going to read that for him. Mayor and council, KRS 189-286 golf cart usage in Benton city limits. I would like to speak in favor of the ordinance. I think this would be a great asset for our local citizens as well as the elderly and individuals with disabilities in our community, with the focus on attending specialized services, independence, health, and accessibility. The increased opportunity to use a golf cart for short trips to and from the senior center, medical services, stores, banks, and visits to friends and family. I've been a resident of Benton in the same home for over 46 years. In my case, I have access to 4 restaurants, my bank, the post office, my general practitioner, funeral home, and friends. I have access to all the above places with the use of my street legal golf cart with my personal vehicle, never needing to leave my driveway. Prior to this coming forward, I was advised by city officials and local law enforcement that there was no ordinance regarding the issue of utilizing my street legal golf cart. I would be riding at my own risk when utilizing the side streets to run my errands. I've done some research and spoken to city officials, law enforcement, to our sister city of Calvert on golf cart usage. I inquired as to accidents. The answer was 0. I inquired as to citations written. The answer was approximately 19 to 20, mainly being the lack of appropriate necessary cart equipment and driving erratically. I urge you to keep an open mind in this ordinance and a level playing field for all responsible licensed drivers. By level playing field, I mean if the ordinance is not received, then one should look closely into the double standard of golf cart usage from those who live in and around the local golf course, utilizing their carts at their leisure compared to other citizens in town who do not live in that area. Thank you for your time and consideration of this matter. Dewey B. Jones. So that's one person's opinion that I'm reading to you all. Our local ordinance, have all of you all had a chance to look at the local ordinance for the state KRS and what's required? No. So on 189.286, this is the state ordinance. We can make it stricter, but we can't make it any weaker. So I'm just going to read off a few things. Your golf cart must be equipped with headlamps, tail lamps, stop lamps, front and rear turn signals, 1 red reflex reflector on each side as far to the rear as practical, and 1 red reflex reflector on the rear. An exterior mirror mounted on the driver's side of the vehicle, and either an exterior mirror mounted on the passenger side of the vehicle or an interior mirror. A parking brake, for each designated seating position, a seatbelt assembly, and a horn. They have to be issued a permit, display a sticker or permit, be inspected by a certified inspector. The posted speed limit of the designated roadway is 35 miles per hour or less, and that's something that you guys can choose. If you choose to go down to 25, that's what most cities have, is the 25 mile per hour speed limit. That doesn't mean the golf carts go 25 miles per hour. That's the speed limit of the streets they're allowed to drive in. So, the operator of the golf cart does not cross a roadway at an intersection where the roadway being crossed has a posted speed limit of more than 35 miles per hour. The operator must have a valid driver's license. The golf cart displays a slow-moving vehicle emblem. It must be insured, I'm assuming for liability, shall be subject to all traffic regulations of KRS Chapter 189. A local government may adopt more stringent local ordinances governing golf cart safety equipment and operation than specified in this section. The Transportation Cabinet may prohibit the operation of golf cart on a public roadway. So that kind of is an overview of everything going on. So is there anyone that would like to speak? All right. All right, if you'll come state your name, we're going to turn the microphone towards you.
Just come right here. We'll be right in.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
My name is Gina Morris. I live on East 18th Street here in Benton. down from mine and Sylvia's house, there is a four-way stop. Um, you can, turn left, you can go to the park, or go straight up and on Sycamore. I have set out on my front porch, golf carts coming from 20th, 21st, 22nd, going towards the park and coming from our house. Vehicles are flying down through there, running the red stop signs. When they're coming from 19th, 20th, 21st Street, they're just shooting right through. Somebody's going to get hurt. If we can, have boundaries right there, put a camera or something to make sure that nobody gets hurt. I don't mind them. I wish I had a golf cart, but I don't. And I just want everybody to be safe and make sure they have an age limit.
All right, thank you. Jimmy?
Yeah.
Come on up.
Let me speak a little bit.
Okay.
I think y'all can hear me without me walking up here, but I'll do it. I was thinking about, as a kid, riding a bicycle, walking, everywhere we went, and we didn't have a problem. The problem is not the golf carts. The problem is the wild drivers. I will tell you that. What reminded me of this meeting a while ago when I turned down Terra Court, was driving down the road and we met a vehicle and it was flying right up our past us. It's not, the problem's not golf carts. The problems are people driving crazy at times and wild. And that needs to be what we have to take into account. We see people riding golf carts all over the neighborhood. We live on Wood Trace, and we have kids driving golf carts that are definitely not old enough to drive. It's not been a problem over there. I don't think it'd be a problem in the city of Benton, and it is somewhere that we can enjoy and benefit and gives us great social skills to share time to talk with one another. Going back to the days, and as I've said recently, living in the past is taking you backwards. We need to live in the future and move forward and be positive and give people opportunity. We need the social skills in Benton where people are socializing with one another and talking to one another, not being afraid of people. And I think the golf carts can add to that value.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You want to speak? Yeah, would you come up, state your name?
I'm Gerald Jones. I don't know anybody in here. This is my first time see y'all other than Rita. Personally, I think golf carts would be a wonderful thing in Benton. I think it would add, like everybody has said, more social environment, gatherings. I also think it would bring possibly more people wanting to move to Benton as a golf cart community, and maybe more businesses to look at Benton for that reason. And yes, there's going to be mishaps. That's guaranteed. There's mishaps in baseball. There's mishaps with farm equipment. You name it. There's going to be mishaps, and that's something that people is going to have to accept. And I, for one, I have paid money to use my golf cart at Grand Rivers, and that's money that Benton's missing on. So, City Council, I hope y'all do, take the thoughts of, people, community, and vote this in. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Jessica?
I just would like some clarification on the state highways.
Okay. Rob, do you want to talk about that since you're the...
Well, the state highway, and I think the mayor has contacted them and said we're not able to ride on the state highway. The ordinance does say that, let me just read it.
Well, I had a couple of people reach out to me, and one of them was a retired state trooper, and he is in favor of it, and he's very clearly said,
again, we've been talking about the state highway, you're not able to operate a golf cart down the state highway. But this ordinance kind of implies that you can cross it, but the state highway would have to make a determination. Um,
Are you reading number 5?
Yeah, number nine, prohibit, is necessary
May
for public
prohibit, right.
interest of public safety.
So would it be them prohibiting on state highways as part of our ordinance, or the state would prohibit?
State would prohibit us crossing state highway, but we couldn't allow golf carts on state highways. We have to specifically designate what streets,
Okay, oh, okay.
and if you read in the ordinance, it says
So
the
like,
city can make it more strict.
okay, I'm gonna use my house for example. So Dogtown Road is a state highway, so I could not ride it there. But I could come down 21st Street, but I legally couldn't cross Main Street to go down the other side of 21st to get to the golf course. Because that part of Main Street is 45. Correct. So I would be basically landlocked except just on the park. I could get to the park.
Down to 14th Street.
And cross
Church,
up.
and we'll have to do that.
You could get there. I could get there, just gonna have, it's just not convenient.
Just roll the dice.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you have to drive a little further down to get there. Okay, that was just, if you wanted to legally cross right there, you couldn't do that. Right, okay, yeah. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
My name's Tristan Smith. I'm a business owner in town. I own the Verizon on Fifth Street. And one of the questions I had is, has the city, I guess one, does the city have authority and could the city make certain sections 35 miles an hour that would allow carts to cross in certain stretches of the road? Because I'm in the strip center in the Walmart parking lot, and I could see that being a very highly valuable area that, especially seniors that may not be able to afford a car, but they got a golf cart, want to access a grocery store. Has the city considered doing speed limit restrictions in certain areas where you can cross? Because I know if you've paid attention to Calvert, they've kind of reduced some speed limits in certain areas with their golf cart trails, and they've made some areas where you can cross. Because like Jessica said, I mean, I think a lot of people are going to end up landlocked. I don't live in the city, but my business is in the city. I think if we haven't considered that, I think you're going to end up getting a lot of people landlocked and they can't get their carts across. And what they're going to do, they're going to do it anyway. Then they're going to get a ticket, and then they're going to be irritated about it and not send Stephen a Christmas card. And so I just wonder if there was like designated areas we could do that. And I think one thing that would be beneficial is you've got the gas station, you got Wendy's, you got 6, 7 businesses where I'm at alone. AT&T, Subway. I mean, that whole area in Walmart's probably the biggest business corridor of the city. So for that not to be accessible, I think would probably make people take the risk and do it anyway. And where the traffic light is, where Fifth comes into Walmart, I mean, that's busy as all get out already. So either possibly a trail system to get in there somehow, which would be difficult, or if it would be easier just for the authority to just reduce that speed limit in that section since it's in city limits so that people can access that. Because you could come down Ash Street, you could follow the traffic light rules, and then you could get in there. Because, like, I know in my business, like, the young people don't necessarily need help with the cell phone stores a lot, but the majority of my business is senior citizens. And a lot of them, they may still have driver's license, but they don't drive. They have somebody help them or do it. They can't afford a car. Cricket Wireless is also in there. So there's some utility services in there that I think if people could access would be beneficial for that. So is that something y'all have authority to do?
So, no, we can't do anything about speed limits on state highways, but we can ask them to look at it.
Okay.
And I will if the council
Yeah.
decides that this is what they want to do. But yeah, we'll ask them to come and do a study and look at it and explain. They might help cross there or.
Well, and I'll be honest, I drive to my store every day. It really doesn't need to be 45 at that intersection
I would
anyway.
love for it to be 35.
It needs to be 35 because people gun it through that intersection to get on the parkway before the light turns red, and it's, you've got the bank, you got Walmart. I mean, that's probably the most high traffic area in town. If I had to guess, that's the busiest intersection. 45 just seems a little fast. If it was 35, people could access it, and I think it'd be safer for businesses, especially the seniors. Thank y'all for your time.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tristan.
Anyone else? Tim, Tom, you've had experience with this. Well,
I would just like to make it known that as some were referring to children driving, you do have to have a valid driver's license. I do think it's very important that the law enforcement enforces that. That's something that's a
Absolutely.
huge concern of mine.
yes, I agree. Anyone else? Stephen, do you want to say anything?
No, I'm concerned like a lot of people are. I know that there's a lot of people on the other side of Murray Highway, I call it, that bought property there so they can access the golf course. And if we have the ordinance as it is written, you can't cross that. All of those people that are against now that they're playing golf right now, you know, would be, can't legally do that. And if you're gonna make an ordinance, I think if you're gonna make an ordinance, you need to enforce the ordinance. If you're not, if you're not gonna have it, that's a different story. But, so those people all there that bought, my son for one, bought his house on 21st Street or 22nd Street because it was close to the golf course and he couldn't afford to live over on the golf course yet. So he bought it close there because he plays golf just, 2 or 3 times a week, and a lot of people over there are like that. So just, consider that. But I've talked to a lot of people, and I've not had anyone say, I'm in favor of one. But I've talked to most people on the golf course.
Right, and I have as well. The majority have been on the golf course, so. Anyone else?
Rita, may I add just one more
Yes,
thing?
absolutely.
As far, like I said, I go spend money in Grand Rivers in my golf cart. But as far as insurance, if anybody's wondering, mine is a 2018, and my insurance is nothing but $80 a year. And with absolutely no issue.
Jared, do
So,
you have
so a lot of
everything
people
on
may
your
not
car?
know that. Huh?
Is your car loaded down with seatbelts
Yes,
and the whole?
yes, I have, it's 4 seats, it has 4 seat belts, blinkers, lights, tail lights, 3 mirrors, rear view mirror, side mirrors, windshield. I've got the sign, I've got a flag I can put on it for Grand Rivers. Anybody's welcome to come look at it if they like. At any given time, just let me know on Facebook or contact Rita. She knows me well.
Yeah, I do.
Grand Rivers requires you to have a flag.
Yes, that's what I say. I have a flag that I can put on mine or take it off during travel. Which the flag is, is high, very, very noticeable. If somebody is looking up or a lifted vehicle will see the flag probably before they look at the slow moving sign.
I do think it's kind that he offered to let anyone see his golf cart because Green Rivers parked one at their city hall and allowed people to come and check it out to see how it would all look and really operate.
Tell myself, Jess can see my golf cart, Gator Day parade. I was sitting there watching the parade on it, so.
That's nice. My old 2008, she probably don't have a spot blinker, so.
She tried to knock me off.
Seatbelts, I don't have seatbelts, so I have to agree on that. Yes, ma'am.
Back into, you can't cross the state highway
If it's a 35-mile-per-hour zone.
unless they tell you, unless they designate it. Like in our area, 18, 19, 20, 21st. You go just right across the street and there's Golf Course Road. Can we make an ordinance or something, or put in a word?
Not unless we could get the state to change the mile per hour there. That would be the only way.
I think
It is.
I think that's a little bit over.
35.
Yes.
I live on 23rd Street. I'm locked in, period.
Yeah.
I can't cross nothing. It's a dead end street.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's important to think, if we look at doing that, Tristan mentioned down by Walmart, if we're looking at it, on that stretch of road, we're gonna have to look at Mayfield Highway, the old Murray Highway, 641, or Main Street, there's several we'll have to look at. We can't just look at one area, to be fair, with that, any around town that are state highways with the 45 limit, we'd have to, petition them to look at it for each of those.
I think you'd have to.
Yeah,
You can't make a difference.
right.
I petitioned last year to have Dogtown Road lowered from 45. Because I'm the last house in the city, well, they fly in that curve, they miss the curve, they hit my mailbox, they land in my yard, all that. So I requested, lost 4 mailboxes. And, the state came, put one of those little strip things out, they counted cars, they did it, they lowered it. I got butchered on social media from the people that live on Dogtown Road. And when I say butchered, I mean, they were threatening Rita, one lady knocked on my door, I mean, it was awful. So just FYI, anybody that lives on those main roads that might decrease it, be ready, because it was awful. But instead of driving 55 because it was a 45, now they're driving 45 because it's a 35. Just a little.
Well, speeders are always an issue, and our police can't be everywhere all the time. I mean, if we had they still can't be everywhere all the time, so. They do a great job. We write speed tickets really often, and I hate it, but you've got to slow them down some way, somehow, so.
I can say, Mayor, it's better than when I was growing up, the chewing gum was here, and he was only copping it.
That was before my
Well,
time.
see him on one side, and when we speed down the other.
That's all. Do you all, is there anything you all want to say? I mean, I did not expect any decisions tonight. I expected this hearing and then for you all to dwell on it, do some research, and get our next meeting. So,
Oh, me. I don't even know where to start. Because, number one, I'm not going to be on one of these things to begin with. I'm way too old for it, and I understand that. But the thing that bugs me the most is I have spent my whole life looking at incoming revenue for state, county, and schools. 42 and a half years of public service for that only. But at the same time, I cannot see the reasoning for allowing something that could cause the death of a child. I just can't see it. And that's not me intentional. I just can't see us voting for something that we know someone is going to be killed with this. And I'm not saying that if we don't do this, they won't get killed. I'm not saying that at all. But it is an issue that can produce unwanted presence, is all I know to say. And I'm not saying I'm for it nor against it, because like I say, I'm not going to be on one to begin with. But I don't want to see someone's child killed. I've buried a child, and it's not funny. Whether it was from something like this or any other reason, that is one of the worst days of your life. And I promise you that. So remember this when you get ready to vote. I'm not saying how to vote, yes or no. And I don't know how I'm going to vote at this point in time. But I am saying that consider what you're doing to people that you don't even know. That's all.
okay. Anyone else have anything to say? Yes.
There's two things really, and I agree with Ann to a certain degree on that, but also where my store is located, I see people push strollers across Fifth Street multiple times a day. I see kids in wagons attached to bicycles, and people are gonna cross the street to get to where they wanna go no matter what if they don't have a car. And any accident's unfortunate, but I appreciate myself. I'd rather be in a golf cart with a seatbelt on a slow road and get hit than be on a bike or on foot. You're not gonna prevent every accident, but at least a golf cart that's properly equipped with seatbelts and aluminum or steel frame at least has a chance at a 25, 30 mile an hour collision, where if you're on a bike or you're pushing that stroller across, let's see a car cut, you have zero chance. I mean, you, you've worked, I've seen you out there, you've worked hundreds of wrecks at that intersection at this street right there. And there's been times where it's been pedestrians, and before I was where I'm at now, I was across the street in the building where the pan is, and I've been in business since 2011, and I've seen dozens and dozens of wrecks at that intersection. And sometimes they involve pedestrians, like, at least somebody's got a chance at the golf cart. I mean, they may go to the hospital, be pretty banged up, maybe not survive it, but at least they have a better chance than being on foot. And I guess the second question I want to ask is, like, what is the penalty for not having the proper requirements like seatbelts, things like that? 'Cause I know people are gonna skirt that. So if the penalties are strict enough where people don't skirt it, I feel like that just makes the whole proposition of that safer.
So the council would help decide the penalties, but your cart has to be inspected. And for it to be inspected, it has to have everything that I read off there. You'd have a fairly large sticker that the police could see immediately.
And would they do that at City Hall?
Probably sheriff's office. So the police would, if they see you out on a golf cart, if the council chooses to pass this ordinance, if they see you out on a golf cart and that sticker's not there, they're gonna stop you. And I don't know what the process will be. That will be, again, something that would have to be decided. You know, maybe I don't know if they give you a warning ticket the first time and tell you to take it and get it inspected, or if they would give you a ticket right away. Yes.
I was thinking that it's something I think we need to really consider, is the fact that he's brought up about people going uptown and they're giving more business. I know lots of people that won't shop uptown because of parking.
Right,
They can't back out.
right.
If they would do that, it might help bring business in. I don't know. But it definitely would help parking up there. And it's just something for us to think about. I mean, it's growing, it's coming. Whenever.
State highway up here, though,
Yeah.
Yeah, you could, there's places you could cross to get to different businesses, but
You have to park in the like parking lot in the back and walk up. If you come down Olive or Joe Creason, some of those, to get to like the parking lot behind Old School, you have to park like there or at the Olive parking lot.
Eleven's not a state highway, you could go around a bunch of different ways, get to Eleven.
How, has the city had any issues with like the ATVs, UTVs, side by sides? When
None
that
at
ordinance
all.
was passed, haven't had any collisions or accidents or? That's great.
none whatsoever.
Rita, when you're done,
Sure, go ahead.
I've put a lot of thought into this and did some studying on this, and I'm not sure, of course, we would have to decide what we're going, I'm not sure what everybody is envisioning as far as the golf cart use. I know, as far, talking about coming up to Court Square, you know, you'd have to come a certain way, because to allow golf carts on Main and Poplar, where the speed limit's just 35, with a golf cart that can go 15 or 20, that's concerning to me, whether they got seatbelts or not. You know, golf carts, unless they have special work done on them, can't even approach that speed limit. And, you know, and like was said over here, I appreciate the comment on the safety of the kids. You know, this was several years back. I know of one young person that several kids were on a cart. They were riding around here in town in a neighborhood, fell off, hit their head bad. They have permanent hearing loss because of that, and are fortunate that it wasn't more serious than that. But that person's living with consequences now from something that, you know, the kids will do without, you know, without us watching and setting forth some pretty strict standards. So very concerned with the safety of young people and the operation of cars by the young people.
Honestly, I've agreed to have the public meeting because I really wanted somebody, I was hoping that someone would come in more in opposition because I really wanted that perspective from the community. I was already in favor, so I was actually looking for someone to change my mind on that. I do hear I hear everything you guys are saying, and I understand accidents will happen. What happened to that little girl in that golf cart is awful. She could have fallen off a bicycle, a scooter, things like that, and that happened. I know, Jessica, you know exactly why I say that. So, yes, things can happen, but if we're not moving forward and we're just staying the way things have always been, we're not going to get anywhere. I do think that this can be, and I don't really see that there's just going to be hundreds of golf carts flooding the streets, y'all. Like, because you are going to have to do stuff to your golf carts. And most likely, it's going to be the more responsible people that have that extra money to put into it. Like, I don't feel like it's just going to be flooded with maybe eventually we're going to have a lot more, especially once that first responders park open. I can see people trying to get to that for events. I think that's a great thing if that's the way they want to commute. I do think it offers more community involvement and socialization. So that's just where I'm at. I'm in favor of it. If anybody didn't know already, but I am in favor, and I see what you guys are saying. I don't want you to feel like I don't hear what you're saying. I do hear you. I do think that the world is crazy and kids can get hurt in so many ways that we already allow things to happen. So, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
There you have it.
Butch, do you have anything to add? Is there
I
anything
thought we were
publicly?
gonna wait until,
We are, I just didn't know if there was anything you wanted to say.
well, pros and cons to everything, we all know that. I was a little bit concerned about the undue burden putting on our police force to try to get these unauthorized carts. County. This time he's gonna have I'll just say that, or I brought, my daughter lives in a little town the same size as, just about 4,700, called Madison, Georgia. And I brought you something to look at from
Okay.
there.
Good.
Let- let,
Do they have a
Rob,
golf
okay.
cart ordinance, Butch?
Yeah, they do have one.
Okay,
It's fairly strict though.
okay.
And it's at least as strict as KRS is.
Okay.
But I brought a copy if you
Okay.
want to see it before the next meeting, but,
Okay.
I,
I'm not
I'd
asking
I'd
you to
rather
say
have
what
some
you
more
want.
discussion.
I'm not asking you that, I just didn't know if you had anything you wanted to say.
I'm saving that till
Yeah,
hear both
absolutely.
sides again.
Absolutely, yeah. So Chief Sanderson took one of our city maps, and the streets that you see highlighted in yellow are 25 and 35 miles. So we have a huge amount of streets that we can drive the golf carts on. It's the crossings that could present a problem for us. And, you know, this is everything around the country club. The country club is not in the city limits of Benton. Most people don't realize that, but it is not in the city limits. And they do allow 14-year-olds and above to drive golf carts. Am I right on that statement? Am I remembering right? On the course. On the
They got
course.
some of the streets, 6 and 7 years old driving golf carts.
And they should not be. And if you all see that, please call us. Please call us and let us know.
Young people driving stuff in that neighborhood all the time.
They're already doing it regardless of this law.
They are, yes, yes. No, and our guys stop them and take them home every chance we get, but again, they can't be everywhere all the time. So if you see them, please call us and let us know. Most people have my cell number or can message me on Facebook or the chief or Beth or whatever. just let us know that this is going on, and we will put a stop to it. We were having lots and lots of issues previously of kids running through yards and people calling us and, you know, maybe some harassment out there, and you all pretty much got all that stopped, didn't you? Yeah, we haven't had any complaints. Okay. So that gives you a really good overview of, and I don't know, is there any way, Beth, that you could, I guess if any of you want to leave your email, she could email that to you all, if you want to have a copy of it. But that does give us a large avenue of places that we can drive.
Some of those are gonna be 35, so if the ordinance is a 25, like Calvert's or like Paducah's, then we would have to go back and do a new map with all the 25s. We would have to outline what those are.
Like, Walnut Street is 35, and Walnut Street's a pretty dangerous street, and it's hard to justify driving down Walnut Street in a golf cart, because we have lots of issues already with that. Not to say an adult doesn't know how to drive.
This terrain in the city of Benton is hilly.
It's
To start
different.
with.
It is.
To
It's
start with,
different.
it is hilly, and there's nothing you can do to change that.
No, there's not.
What is the basic speed limit, like on my road and Freeman Road? Like what is 25?
25 is not posted, right? Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's posted differently, it's typically 25. Anything else? Anybody? Preston?
One question for Stephen. So,
Okay.
You say you're gonna require stickers on the carts, kind of like how Grand River's is
Mhm.
done. Are those fairly large, are they fairly visible?
Mhm.
So,
Yes, mine is probably that big around on the golf cart. And
so does that not make it easier for you guys to enforce when you see somebody whiz by and they don't have
Make
one?
it easier for us to go, and I have it right in the center of my slow-moving vehicle sign, right?
So, and I thought already, people are driving golf carts already anyway. At least this allows law enforcement to make sure they're doing it safely.
Mhm. Yes, because if you see that sticker, we know that it's been inspected, and it has everything on there that it's required.
Right.
Question.
Yes.
Grand River, who inspects, is it the sheriff or the city?
The city there, City Hall, usually the secretary working there up front, she will come out and inspect that golf cart. And it's yearly.
They would do what,
It's
year?
yearly.
Okay.
Oh, is it
You have-
really?
Yes.
So you have to buy a new
inspected
sticker
every year.
every year? Okay.
Inspected every year.
Does the sticker, I know it's a $5 fee to inspect, but do they charge
It's
for the
$20 a year.
sticker?
Permission to ride in Grand River.
Okay.
One thing I'll add too, just because I grew up in Calvert City, I'm on the board at Calvert Country Club, it's obviously a golf cart community. The roads that the city's responsible for, it does take a lot of wear and tear off of them when people aren't driving a 9,000-pound truck to go somewhere and a golf cart's going across it instead. It does reduce wear and tear and taxpayer dollars on those slower streets too.
That's good points, Tristan.
I try.
Anything else before we end this meeting? I really appreciate all of you taking the time to come out
Yeah,
and give
thanks
us
for
your
coming.
point of view. And we'll conclude the meeting. Thank you very much. Next meeting is, it's the third Monday of every month at 5 o'clock, so they will hopefully make some.
Okay, I'll take a look at it, thanks.
It's very similar.
Okay.